Today we're going to be taking a look at the Aer Day Sling Max 4. I never owned the Max 3, but in today's video I'm going to do my best to go over the differences between the 3 and the 4. But just know that a lot of my thoughts, opinions, and experience are going to come straight from using this Max 4 version. As always, there's chapter markers down below if you need to skip to a section that's more important to you. But let's unpack all the details of this newly redesigned Aer Day Sling Max 4. The Day Sling Max 4 is part of Aer's newly updated travel collection. I just posted my review today of the Travel Pack 4 as well. So if you're looking for a 1-2 punch combo, definitely check out this review. I'll link it down in the description. So Aer did send this sling out to me a few weeks in advance so I could get it properly tested and reviewed for you today. But no, this is not sponsored. I am not paid. All thoughts and opinions are my own, and I am not a salesman. I just want to share my experience in using this sling with you. So some of the biggest changes from what I can tell between the Max 3 and this new Max 4 are going to be on the inside of this bag. The layout is a little bit different. The shape and silhouette seems to be very similar, but the biggest differences are going to be found in here. Let me flip this bag inside out so we can get a better look at the inside. Now with the bag flipped inside out, we can get a better look at this admin section here. We still have the padded divider on the backside for your electronic devices like iPads. That's still present from the 3. The thing that changed the most here is we no longer have that zippered compartment here. We have an additional electronic device sleeve here. So you can put your cell phone, your Kindle here, and then your larger iPad in the back. Now we do have the new pen slot that we're seeing introduced across all of the travel line, and then the modular key leash here. So there's going to be 3 different places where you can attach the key leash in this bag, kind of what you would find in the reworked Toshi. There's several different places. So this is a nice little feature that I see many makers incorporating into their bags. I like it. You can get rid of the key leash or put it anywhere in the bag that makes more sense to you. So another difference here is we're using this more premium style mesh that Aer has been using on their city pack lines. So I like to see this come over to the travel line. The mesh that they were using before was kind of like a black mesh. I've seen it in other bags, and this definitely feels more premium compared to the old style mesh. Now on the other side of the bag, this is another change here. Previously on the Max 3, we just had 2 mesh pockets, and now we have a mesh zippered pocket, which I like a lot better. So this is a great spot for carrying those smaller bits of gear like chewing gum, chapstick, eye drops. If you're carrying makeup, everything doesn't get lost into the abyss of the bag. So inside of this pocket, you do have another attachment point for the modular key leash, and then you have your AirTag smart tracker pocket right there as well. Now with the bag flipped in the correct orientation, you can just see how much volume this is. Now this sling does come in 2 sizes, the regular Day Sling, which is 3 liters, and this Max, which is 6 liters. Now there's a lot of things that you can fit in here, and I'm quickly going to demonstrate for you. I have some 3D prints. This is a 3D printed Nintendo Switch. Fits in there no problem. This is a 3D printed iPad 11-inch, will easily fit down in the backside there. Now keep in mind that there is no case, no keyboard, but I think if you do have those things, it should easily fit into that back compartment. And like I mentioned, now instead of having a zippered compartment, you have that padded sleeve there, so it could be a great place to put like your phone. You can also put like a Kindle, anything like that will also fit into these padded device compartments. And to demonstrate how much volume is actually in the bottom of this sling, this is a 26-ounce Yeti Rambler insulated bottle. And look at that, it just fits real easy in there. You can still throw your umbrella on top. You can still throw an 18-ounce Yeti on top of that, and you'll still have room to close up this sling. So just to get an idea of how much volume that this sling can actually hold. So the primary material on my sling here is the 1680D Cordura ballistic nylon. That's kind of like Aer's signature material, used across all of their products, all the way down to pouches. But it is launching in Ultra and in X Pack. So on this one here, we had that gray liner. On the X Pack, you're gonna get like a high-vis orange, and then of course on the Ultra, you're gonna get that greenish interior, which I really like as well. So the front of this bag does have a YKK AquaGuard zipper there that's gonna give you some weather protection as well, but we don't have one on the main compartment or on the back compartment. You got a rain flap here. Up here, you just have a regular reverse coil zipper, which I actually prefer, because you're gonna get buttery smooth zips every single time. Now this one's not too bad, but it has a little bit extra resistance because of that PU coating. Along the outside of the bag, you're still gonna get a lot of the things you saw on the Max 3 and a lot of things you see on mostly all of Aer's bags. Hyperlon counter pulls here. You can also clip pieces of gear on the outside. Same thing with the zipper pulls. You got Hyperlon zipper pulls that are really nice, a little bit of branding on them. The top padded carry grab handle clutch. I think this is newly redesigned as well. I don't think it's as prominent or as padded on the Max 3, but this handle is great, especially for a sling this size. It's pretty awesome. And then of course on each side you have some webbing here for more attachment pieces there. Now this sling is a little bit tapered. If you can see that, it tapered down at the bottom, so it doesn't stand particularly well on its own. It has a tendency to want to lean forward, but it does come with the same carry loop here that the 3 had. So if you have a hero clip, you can easily hang your sling. And I think that this is a feature that more slings should incorporate, a hanging loop, because when you go to restaurants or you're out and you have to put the sling on the table, it'd be nice to hang it up from the side with a hero clip or any kind of clip like that. So I really do like this dedicated hanging loop. I'm sad that we didn't get one on the Aer Travel Pack 4 though. On the inside of this compartment, you got a little bit of volume due to these darts here, but it's going to be best for slimmer items in my experience. You have a mesh divider here that kind of makes this 2 compartments. And again, here is your key leash. It is modular. You can easily just detach it and move it throughout the bag wherever you want to put it. I kept it here. This is where I prefer to put my keys, right into this pocket. But a pretty good split here with this mesh divider, about a 50-50 split. And on the back side, we have what I like to call the security pocket. Great place for wallets, cash, passports, anything of value, because this pocket stays closer to your body. Now there is no more internal organization there, but that's pretty typical on slings that do have this pocket. For the carry system here, we do have that nicer webbing here, smooth, kind of what you would see on a seatbelt of a car. We got web keepers to keep your dangle managed, and we have a classic Duraflex buckle. I think on the 3 they were using a Fidlock slider, so they've gone back to a Duraflex buckle. This thing is durable as hell. You're not gonna have no problems from the buckle. But the thing I've noticed most importantly about this bag is the straps are sewn in. So you cannot change the strap out on the bag, which is kind of a bummer. So if this strap doesn't work for you, then the sling isn't gonna work for you. I like the flexibility of being able to attach different straps, because especially like this one, this isn't a padded strap. And with a 6-liter capacity, you can put cameras, you can put water bottles, you can put some weight into the sling. So I really would have liked to see the option to attach your own strap, or at least a pad that we can purchase to put onto this strap, because this thing can get pretty heavy. Now this is a 6-liter sling, and I do find that to be an easily generous 6 liters. I know sometimes Aer has a, kind of overestimates the capacity of the bag, or they're just using the outer dimensions. Like on the City Pack Pro 2, I felt it was a little small, but here it's gonna be an easy 6 liters. Because this bag's available in 2 different sizes and 3 different material options, the price is really gonna vary depending on what you choose. So it's gonna be starting at $79 all the way up to $135 for the ultra version of this. So what I have here is the regular 1680D ballistic nylon max, and this one's going to retail for $95. So taking into account the very robust materials, the high-end quality, and it's backed by a lifetime warranty, I think $95 for this sling is an absolute steal in my opinion. Now when it comes to this bag's carry comfort, you do have an 1.5-inch strap, and I do think that's pretty adequate for weight distribution, but it is not padded. There is no option to add a pad. This strap isn't removable, so you can't adjust this to different orientations, like if you wanted to clip it to the outside here, kind of like how you would be able to on the reworked Toshi sling. So you could position the sling in this manner or this manner, really make it more comfortable for you. All of that is not an option. So I think with medium loads, the comfort is very well, but just know if you're carrying heavier camera gear, bulkier gear, things that are really going to add some weight to it, you could run into an issue for comfort. But in general, for everything I carried, I think the strap did okay. So for some pros and cons to this sling here, the number 1 pro for me is going to be the overall value I think you're getting for this sling. So this Cordura version of the Max starts at $95. I think this is an insane value when you take into account the robust materials, the high-end quality, backed by a lifetime warranty from a reputable company as Aer. I think $95 is a heck of a deal. Now I understand that that is not a small price tag to pay, but just know that in return for your investment, I think you're getting a great value. The second thing I really liked about this sling is the thoughtful layout and orientation of the pockets. It's a good blend of smaller pockets to organize your smaller gear, but also larger cavities like the main compartment to house cameras, water bottles, umbrellas, you name it. Sometimes when we get these bigger slings, makers feel a tendency to put a lot of stretch pockets, pin pockets, zipper pockets. They try to maximize the space on the inside with organization, and I think that the blend here of being able to incorporate both was executed very well. And lastly, I'm gonna bundle two things together I really liked about this sling is this dedicated carrying loop and this nicely padded top handle. Now I have a lot of experience with the rework Toshi, and that handle is just a simple piece of nylon webbing. This one here is definitely nicer, it's nicely padded, it feels more premium, and I just found that when I have this over in the driver's seat and I reach over to grab the bag, it's a lot easier to grab this handle because it protrudes from the top a little bit, and it's just a nice overall experience. If you have to carry this, it's very nice. Really enjoy the handle here. Perfectly executed handle in my opinion. And of course, the dedicated carrying loop is something I wish that every sling maker, especially when we get into these larger sizes, I wish that they would incorporate this because it makes it easier if you go to the bathroom, you hang it up on the stall. If you have a hero clip, you can hang it anywhere instead of hanging it by the padded handle, which could cause deformations in the padding. I like this feature a lot. Now for some cons to this bag, I only had one real big con to this bag and one little kind of like nitpick. But for me, the biggest con to this bag is going to be the shoulder strap. The fact that it is not removable and you cannot reposition it. You have two carry loops here on the side where you could potentially unhook your shoulder strap and hook it to the side. And what that does for you is it's gonna change the orientation of this sling here to here, or to here to here, kind of like the rework Toshi. So it lets you position the sling in a more comfortable fashion, however you like to carry it. So I think it was a missed opportunity since we already have those attachment points on the side to reposition the strap. And the second thing to the strap is there is no pad. Because of the size of the sling, you can definitely carry cameras, water bottles, heavier things. So it would have been nice to have the option of a removable padded shoulder strap so you could at least take it or add it if you need it. But I really would have liked to seen it as an option for this size sling. And the last little quirk to this bag that I found is that tapered bottom that it has here, the bag doesn't always stand up well on its own. So right here it does, but depending on what you put on the inside, more times than not that I found that when you put the sling down, it's gonna end up on its face. So again, just a little quirk to the bag, and that's really because of the tapered bottom. And that also could be coming from my heavy use of the rework Toshi, where it has that squared bottom and it just stands up every single time. So just a little nitpick there on the bottom side being slanted at an angle. Nothing major, but just something to be aware of. This being my very first experience with the Day Sling Max, overall it went extremely well. This is a size that I typically reserve for travel, but as I try to create more content on the go for these videos and shoot B-roll, so I'm carrying my DJI drone, my Osmo Pocket 3. I've been leaning on larger slings like this when I'm out trying to create content for videos like this. And because of this bag's nice blend of orientation of small pockets and larger areas, I find it worked extremely well for what I carry, no matter the situation, whether it be for daily wear or for travel. So let's pack this thing out to give you an idea exactly of what it can hold. Like I demonstrated earlier, this is a 3D printed 11-inch iPad Pro, easily fits in that back device compartment there. And up here is a great place to put your larger iPhones, Kindles, anything like that, because they'll be protected from the front and the back with this padded divider. In the admin section here, it's very nice to have a pen slot. One is all you need, so I'm glad we have one there. And on this side, this is my little boo-boo kit. I got just like Tums, Band-Aids, Advil, that sorts of things. Just kind of keep that on me. And it easily fits into these mesh pocket right there. And I recently picked up a new EDC knife. This is the Strike from Tactis. It has an aluminum body there with a carbon fiber inlay. You have this button release here with ceramic bearings, and it reveals this satin finish, about 3¼ inch blade there. Super affordable knife here for EDC, coming in only at $55. It definitely looks way more expensive. You have a hole there where you can put a lanyard. You have these nice little green accents here, and of course your pocket clip. A very cool blade, very sharp, only for 55 bucks. I'll link it down in the description if you want to check it out. But if you're looking for a new EDC blade, I'd highly recommend you take a look at the Strike from Tactis. So we'll get that closed up and we'll put it down here with that nice pocket clip. It fits very well on the inside of the bag. And on the other side of the bag, I told you this was one of my favorite pockets because you can put all your small items in there and they stay nice and organized and you know exactly where they're at, pocket change, anything like that. But for me, my contact solution, chapstick, and some chewing gum, great place to store those items. Like I said, I always know where they're at. They're not lost in the abyss of this giant bucket that is this sling here. So you can really hold some serious gear in there. And because of that, the Sony XM6's over-the-ear noise canceling headphones, not a problem for this sling. Sunglasses, and then my Osmo Pocket 3 to film some awesome B-roll when I'm out and about. It just fits so good into the sling overall. So let's get this zippered up. Now for this front pocket, it's best kept for some slimmer items. I have this key leash here with the aluminum, very nice premium touch there. And I just kept it, that's where it comes pre-installed, but I like to keep my keys there, separated from everything else and kind of in its own slot. And over here, you have more room, and I put my Iniu P73, very slim, 10,000 watt milliamp power bank, really fast charging. You can also charge it with the cord that comes built into the lanyard there. So if you want some super fast charging, you can always go wired connection. I'll link this down in the description as well. Pretty cool power bank, very slim, very thin, fits easily in there. And then right next to that, of course, your boy's got to have a snack in case he gets hangry. That's pretty much all I kept in these two pockets up front. Now moving over to the back, like I mentioned earlier, great place to put your wallet if you're traveling. This is my Black Ember Magfold travel wallet. If you're traveling, you can fit your entire travel wallet in there as well. And also, if you're just day to day, this is my Evergoods Element card wallet. Easily will fit down in here as well. There's not a lot of volume to this pocket, so it's best kept for those slimmer items like those. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of what exactly you can fit in here. And again, I'm in love with this carry loop here for your hero clip. Awesome sling, but I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about slings in this larger sizes? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you have any more questions about this sling, put them down in the comment section. I reply to every single one. The goal of this channel is to always help you find the right gear for you. If you made it this far into the video, I want to say thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I want to say thank you to Aer for sending the Day Sling Max 4 out for me to test and review. And I highly recommend you check out this video right here on the Travel Pack 4. It's a great companion if you want to do a 1.5 bag travel. I would really highly advise you look into that review. But if this sling is not for you, this is another video that could be a really good alternative if this one didn't make the cut.